We have some news just coming in. It's a big victory for the Aam Aadmi Party. It's a development in the Delhi Mayor showdown where the Supreme Court has now said members nominated by the Lieutenant Governor can't cast their vote. Notice convening election of Mayor and first meeting of the MCD shall be issued in 24 hours. Notice shall fix date for election of the Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Committee. The BJP had been pushing for Aldermen to vote for the Mayor. The AAP said this is not okay. This is against the laws and had moved Supreme Court. Anisha Mathur has more details, in fact, on that story. Anisha, it's a big victory for the Aam Aadmi Party in that sense.
Well, yes, definitely. It is a victory for the Aam Aadmi Party, as the Supreme Court very clearly said that the Constitution itself does not allow for the nominated members to. And I'm just going to be joined by Shadan sir. You're the counsel for the Aam Aadmi Party. The court has said the nominated members cannot vote. The court has also said that the election must be held in notified within 24 hours. This is a big win for the Aam Aadmi Party. Also, how would you see this?
No, I would only say the provisions of law, be it the constitution or the statutory mechanism, was always very clear. I don't know for what reasons a problem was sought to be created. These are not questions which should ideally be even brought to the court, because the provision is clear. There was no question of interpretation. The black letter law was clear. That is what we stated before the court. All we want is the black letter law to be followed. And the court agreed with us because it didn't require any argument. It was so simply, all there in the constitution and the laws. So this is not something, I mean, I hope there is a learning for entities who want to create a situation when the law is very clear.
Okay. So what are the provisions that the court has looked into? Because they've cited the constitution, they've cited the DMC Act.
The fundamental provision is Article 243R of the Constitution, which is, while saying that a state legislature or a parliament may permit nominated members to be there, it specifically says that even though you may permit a nominated member to be there, the nominated member will not have a right to vote in the meeting. It's as clear as that. So once that is there, and then the same thing is mirrored in the MCD Act of 1950.
So now we are expecting the the mayor elections by Monday or
that I can't say. The court has said within 24 hours the notification will be this thing. I think the administrator will give a date on which the election is to happen, and on that date the election will happen.
When can we expect the election? Because 72 hours notice is necessary.
So the court has broadly indicated that a lot of time has already passed, because the election was held on 4th December, results came out on 7th December. So I'm sure that on the administrator side, they will put an expeditious date. It will be an early date, maybe Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, but it should be an early date.
All right. Thank you very much, Shadan sir. So we were just speaking to Shadan Farasat, who was the counsel for the Aam Aadmi Party in the Supreme Court. And as you can see very clearly, the Supreme Court has noted that the constitutional provisions and the provisions of the Delhi Municipal Council Act, both of these provisions clearly say that the nominated members cannot vote, that the mayor election has to be conducted first, because it is the mayor who has to then preside over the house and ensure that the elections for the deputy mayor and the standing committee are conducted. Delhi could therefore see the mayor elections being held by Monday or Tuesday next week, because the court has very clearly said that the notice must be given within 24 hours.
Yes, you know, Anisha, what is really worrying is that, in a way, because for weeks together now, Delhi city, which is the capital of the country, does not have a mayor because of this constant bickering, the manner in which both of these parties would not relent, and finally the AAP had to get the Supreme Court to intervene, isn't it?
Well, yes, most definitely, and this is something that even the Supreme Court has observed during the hearing as well as in the order itself. They have said that it does not send a good message if the capital of the country is without a mayor for such a long time. This is a very clear and very scathing comment coming in from the Chief Justice of India, who has questioned why is it that when the elections to the MCD were completed in December, so far in February has come, and why do we not have a mayoral election so far? That is a very clear comment coming in from the Supreme Court. People in Delhi have been waiting for the political parties to stop the bickering, to ensure that the election is held. And with this particular order today, it is clear that it is the Delhi BJP which has been held to be in the wrong by the Supreme Court, as it says that nominated members cannot vote, that we do not accept the argument raised by the LG, by the MCD Council, that is the Solicitor General and the Additional Solicitor General, that the nominated members should be allowed to vote. The court has very clearly noted in its order that we do not accept this argument that has been raised. Back to you.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Delhi Chief Minister has spoken about this. Delhi will get mayor after 2.5 months is what he said. He's also gone on to say that this shows that both the LG, the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, and the BJP were working in tandem. It has been proven how LG and BJP are together, passing illegal and unconstitutional orders in Delhi city is what the Chief Minister said. Delhi finally to get a mayor after 2.5 months. It's a victory of democracy. Supreme Court's order, a victory of democracy. Many thanks to the Supreme Court. Delhi will now get a mayor after 2.5 months. Essentially, the AAP stands vindicated in all of this. The BJP had been constantly pushing for the aldermen elected in, or rather chosen by the LG or the Lieutenant Governor to vote for the mayor elections. This is something that the AAP had protested against. To get a clearer understanding of the situation, the rules had clearly said that nominated members, Anisha, can't vote. However, in terms of the manner in which the MCD house was pretty much being taken over by the ruckus and the pandemonium, voting was impossible, not once, not twice, but on several occasions when an attempt was made, isn't it?
Well, yes, we have seen in the last 2.5 months the ugly side of politics in Delhi as the BJP was trying to say that the aldermen, that is the nominated members, must be allowed to vote. In fact, we've seen the Aam Aadmi Party come out on the streets to protest on this issue. We've seen repeated war of words between the two political parties. However, with today's verdict, it is very clear that it is the BJP which was in the wrong. Remember, BJP has been saying so far that there is a Delhi High Court order which says that the aldermen are allowed to vote in the standing committees. Therefore, they should also be allowed to vote in the House for the first sitting. Now, what is interesting today is that this argument was made before the Supreme Court also. The Solicitor General and the Additional Solicitor General who are appearing for the LG and for the Municipal Corporation both argued that the aldermen must be allowed to vote in the first sitting of the House, which is to elect the mayor. The Supreme Court, however, has not accepted this argument. They have said very clearly that aldermen, that is the nominated members, are not allowed to vote, and that includes the first sitting where the mayor has to be elected. The court has also said that this attempt that was made that the mayor, deputy mayor and standing committee elections will be held together is also incorrect, because the rules under the DMC Act and the Constitution itself say that the mayor must be elected first, and then the mayor is the person who presides over the proceedings of the House to elect a deputy mayor, to elect the standing committee members. Thirdly, of course, the Supreme Court has said that it is does not give a good impression that for the last 2.5 months, Delhi has been functioning without a functional municipal corporation, without a mayor being able to be elected. And this is something that comes as a big win for the Aam Aadmi Party and a big loss for the BJP, which has been so far saying that no, the law is on our side. The Supreme Court very clearly saying that the written text of the law is very clear. There is not even room for interpretation, because the constitutional provision of 243R is very clear in saying that the mayor is the one who elects the who holds the elections for the deputy mayor and the standing committee, and it is not permissible for the nominated members to vote. But in the last 2.5 months, we've seen the ugly side of politics in Delhi as the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party fought out this issue and had to come before the Supreme Court as well. We also saw on-road protests by Aam Aadmi Party leaders. We saw people coming out in the streets to protest. We've seen the kind of allegations and counter-allegations being made. And worst of all, we saw the ruckus and absolute pandemonium in the House itself when the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party members, the elected members, clashed in the House itself. So we have seen, Delhi has seen a very disappointing side from its elected representatives for the last 2.5 months. But now with the
getting us all of those details as far as Delhi's mayor is concerned, the AAP has won in a court of law in the Supreme Court, with the chief of the Aam Aadmi Party, the national convener and chief minister of Delhi, saying this is a victory of democracy.